What's up everybody? Shane here, and I'm going to show you my Akuma deck that I was going to play for the Omaha Pro Tour Circuit event. So this is one of my competitive decks. It's going to be in the competitive playlist. And I built this about a week before the Omaha Pro Tour Circuit. And I got it down to a point where I really liked it and it felt really strong in my hands. So I was going to play it. But then a buddy of ours flew in from California on Thursday night, 2 days before the PTC. And then he asked for help on his Akuma deck. So we went downstairs to the basement. On the card table, we put out both of our decks. And then I was going over my deck and kind of explaining why I played the cards I did. And then he was, towards the end of the explanations, he's just like, you know what, you have this deck down to a science. All of what you're saying is confirming my suspicions, and I kind of want to try your deck out. So I was like, okay. So I gave him the list, and then he got the cards for it. And then it was like, all right, so he's playing Akuma, I'll just play Tim 2 or something. So then the day of the tournament, he actually switched back to his Akuma. So my Akuma never really saw the light of day, but he made top 16 with it and stuff, so that's cool. But I want to show you guys my Akuma and kind of what I do in my deck and kind of what makes it so special. So yeah, let's get right into it. All right, we're gonna start off with Akuma. So on paper, this guy doesn't really seem that great, but when you take into account all of his support cards, it's that combination that makes him really strong and kind of pushes him over the top. So his bottom effect is really where the aggression comes in. During your attack, you take the top card of your deck, put it into your card pool, face up or face down. You usually always put it face down though, and then your attack gets stun 1, and then +1 damage for each of your face downs in your card pool. So what'll happen is that he usually has other cards in the deck that add cards face down the card pool. So this ability kind of amplifies as you play more attacks. So as you play 2, 3, even a 4th attack, it gets super strong, and you can +8 damage off of it just by adding the top card of your deck in your card pool. So his damage at the end is really high, and it just overwhelms all the opponents. His other effect, you flip a card in your card pool face down, and then when your opponent plays a non-foundation card, you hack their check by 2. So if they check a 5, you flip a card over and then they check a 3 instead. So that's really important. Another cool thing is that if you play an attack, let's say you just attack them, and then they block with a stop, or any block that has a breaker, a response like Skull Barrier, you can actually flip your attack when they block and make the check, and now you abort your attack during the block step. So they can pass the block if they want to, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to take any damage. But the cool thing is that they can't respond with anything on the block. So they can't breaker, they can't stop and commit you. So you just abort your attack and you get another face down for his abilities. So that's a cool thing you can do with his effect here. So yeah, that's kind of what Akuma does. We're going to go over 2 of the foundations first that make him really strong. So first we have admission fees. This is the thing that makes Akuma tick. This is the best foundation in the deck. So as an enhance, you add the top card of your deck in your card pool face down, and then you get +2 speed, or you give their attack -2 speed. So with Akuma, you usually have an attack, right? So you have one of these down here. So what'll happen is that you play your attack, you use admin fees, add the top card in face down for 2 speed, then you use Akuma, 2 damage. So every time you attack, you're putting 2 cards in your card pool. So that's how Akuma scales, is because of admin fees. So now, the other foundation that is really strong is Enlightened by Defeat. So you commit this to give your attack 1 speed and 1 damage for every face down in your card pool. So what'll happen is that you usually play 3 attacks, and then you use admin fees and Akuma on all of them, and then you can use Enlightened by Defeat for +6, +6. So this is a spam foundation, a 1 difficulty 5 check that commits for insane stats. You can give +8 speed, +8 damage. So yeah, these 2 foundations are really what makes Akuma good. Now there is a card that came out in the Yu Yu Hakusho set called the Toguro Brothers, and this card is really nasty with Akuma. So what this card does, whenever your opponent plays an ability on a foundation, you cancel its effects and then you blow up their foundation. So this is really good with Akuma. Oh, also, after this resolves, you either remove it or you draw a card. So with Akuma, they play an ability on a foundation. So you do this, you cancel their foundation's effect, you blow it up, you draw a card, and then when they go to play an attack on you, you just flip this and hack their check by 2. So this card does so much in Akuma. So cancel, blow it up, draw a card, and -2 their check. So yeah, this card's really good. So I play 4 admin fees, 4 Enlightened by Defeat, and 2 Toguro Brothers. So these 10 cards are really strong in Akuma. All right, so now we're gonna go into the attack lineup. So before I show the attacks I play, I wanna show you an attack that I do not play, Coffee Samba. Now, I do not play Coffee Samba. I understand why it's good in Akuma. I see Akuma decks topping, and then they win, and they play Coffee Samba, and like I totally get it. Because this is a card, like, I get it. You play this, you draw 2, you stun them out, and then usually those decks play Fatality, so they have like 2 momentum from the Fatalities, and then you do the multiple 2, and now you have face downs in your pool, and then on like, so then you have like admin fees out, and you use admin fees and Akuma, add 2 in, so it's like 9 damage, and the next one is like 11 damage, and the next one after that is 13 damage because you have tons of face downs in your pool. Like, I totally get it. The issue I have with Coffee Samba is that this is a card where it's like, you have to draw this in order to win if you're playing Coffee Samba Akuma, and like I just don't like having to, like, I'm relying on this one card where like I play it, they can seal it, or you know, it's kind of like all eggs in one basket kind of thing. Like, I totally get it. Like, as a 1-check as well, so like if you check it, you probably lose. If you draw it, you probably win. And if you're that kind of gambler, I get it. But me, I want to play a consistent Akuma, and that is why I do not play Coffee Samba. So now moving on into the attacks that I do play, what makes my Akuma deck unique from all the other ones that I'm seeing is that I play 4 copies of Secchia. This card, I love this card. This card's amazing. Usually when I see Akuma decks, they're running, like, they're not running this card, or they're running 1 copy, and like, I don't get it. This card is amazing. So the response on this card, you remove a face down card from your card pool, and then after your opponent plays a non-character enhance, you cancel it. So this cancels enhances. So what happens is that you can lead with this card. All right, you use admin fees at the top card of your deck in your card pool face down, and then when they do an enhance, like if they bang, right? So like on your turn, you lead with this, you use admin fees, right? If they try to bang you, you just cancel their bang. So it makes you immune to bang. You can't be sealed. And then your next enhance, you use Akuma, put another face down in, and then they play another defensive enhance, and you just remove and negate it. So like, this card is amazing. This card is super good on offense. Now, it might even be better on defense. So what you can do is that your opponent attacks you, right? You use admin fees, you add a card face down in your card pool, and then you block with Secchia. So now when they play another attack, oh look, I have a face down, I'll just negate and enhance. And then, oh, my enhance, I'll use admin fees, put another face down in. Now I can negate another enhance. So this card is just so good. Like, you can negate so much stuff with Secchia. It also has his attack text where face down cards don't count towards progressive difficulty to play this card, which is important because in this deck, I play 16 cards that have that text. Face down cards don't count towards progressive to play these attacks. So you can draw these attacks in any order and feel comfortable killing them in any order you want. Also, because you have 4 copies of this card in your deck that cancels enhances, I only run 1 copy of a Revoke. So a lot of Akuma decks I see, they run 3 copies of this, they run 4 copies of this, and as a 6-hander, you don't want too many action cards because they can clog your hand. And like, Revoke can't kill people, but you can have an attack that does damage and also has Revoke on it. So this is a repeatable Revoke. So that means I can trim down the number of copies of Revoke and not have to play so many action cards in my deck that just, you know, do this one thing that cancels enhances. When I can just do this and just like have a card on board that just cancels enhances. Like, I still play one Revoke because it's a nice like surprise card because they don't see this coming when it's in your hand. But the Secchia is on the field, so like they can see that coming. But still, usually like this just locks down what the opponent can do, and that's why I really like 4 copies of Secchia. Now, moving on to some other attacks, we have the staple Akuma attack, Dohatsu Shoten. This enhance adds a card from the top of your deck into your card pool face down. So usually you like play Dohatsu, and you can go Dohatsu's effect for 2 speed, 2 damage. Then you go admin fees for 2 speed. Then you go Akuma for 3 damage. So this is like 7 speed for 10 damage. So yeah, this is like really important because it helps accelerate Akuma's ability to give damage, and it adds more face downs in your card pool. Also has Powerful 2 and Desperation 3. And Desperation 3 is really important because sometimes you just go in Desperation in this deck. So yeah, there's that. Now, perhaps the card you win the most games with is Kongou Kokuretsuzan. So this attack, you can use face down cards in your card pool to fuel the Powerful 2. So usually you play this at the end. So you usually go like attack, and then you go, what is it, admin fees, Akuma, and then you go attack, and you're like, you go Dohatsu, admin fees, Akuma, and then you play Kongou Kokuretsuzan, and then you go admin fees, Akuma for plus 8 damage. And then if you have Enlightened by Defeat out, you're just like commit for plus 8, and then you use the Powerful 2. you can use the face downs as powerful, and then you powerful too. So then what I like to do if I have Secchia in my card pool, I like to discard or remove just as much face downs for damage as it'll kill them. That way I still have some face downs in my card pool that I can use to still negate their defensive enhances. So, you know, if they try to use like Retreated to Arctica or to avenge a loved one, refusing to let go, I can just negate it. So yeah, that's another reason I like Secchia, because it helps push your Kongou Kokuretsuzan through. It's just more insurance that this is going to kill them. Also, Congo is a reversal, so you can kill them on their turn with this card. So like every time they attack you, you use admin fees to add face downs in your pool, and then if you like block, they play another attack. You like flip it, hack your check, and you're like, okay, admin fees. Then you like block, reversal, and then you admin fees. Then Akuma for +6 damage. Then you go +12 damage. So that's like what, 22 damage right there. So yeah, it's pretty disgusting. So yeah, Congo, one of the best attacks in the deck. Now I play Dialect Devil Slayer. This is just the generic Akuma attack. It has EX3 and Powerful 3, which is cool, but it just has that text where it says face downs ignore. So it's just another card where I can just play it after who knows how many attacks and face downs I have in my card pool. I can just play this for free. So that's like the main 16 attacks I play. I play 4 copies of Dialect Devil Slayer, 4 copies of Hand Slam, 4 copies of Dohatsu Shoten, and then the 4 copies of Secchia. That's 16 attacks, and all of these attacks have that text where face downs ignore, or these attacks ignore the face downs in the pool. So yeah, now I play 2 more attacks, and those 2 are Gyro Attacks. This is really good in Akuma. So the reason why, like, this is a card I used to play it at 3, then I went to 4 because I'm like, why would you not play this card as a 4 of? And then I just went back down to 2 because it's just clunky sometimes. You can open with this and then it's nice, even though sometimes you want to open with Secchia, but this is like another attack for free. So what happens is you play Gyro Attack, right? Then you use admin fees, +2 speed, then you use Akuma, +2 damage, then you use Gyro Attack's ability, you add the face down in your momentum, and then this gets +2 speed, and then the multiple gets +2 speed, so you multiple. Then if they block this, you flip for Akuma and abort. Then you use admin fees on the multiple, so 2 speed, and then Akuma, and that's going to be like 6 speed for 10 damage. Now you have all these 5 in your card pools, then you can start playing like this stuff for cheap, and you play Hand Slam and just kill them. So like, yeah, Gyro Attack is pretty good. The issue with like multiple Gyro Attacks is that, where's my other Gyro Attack? There it is that say you have all this in your card pool and you do all this stuff, if you try to play like another Gyro Attack when you have all this in your card pool, it's like, that's on a 10, and like that's pretty much like impossible. So that's the reason why I cut down on Gyro Attacks, and now I would just rather play as many attacks that have this face downs don't count towards progressive to play these attacks. That's another reason I don't really like the Coffee Samba version, because like if you do the Dohatsus and a bunch of stuff and then you like play new Empress and draw cards and like you sack into a Coffee Samba, you can't reliably play Coffee Samba outside of the desperation, because like again you have all these face downs and Coffee Samba doesn't ignore face downs. So that's another reason why I don't like Coffee Samba. So yeah, those are my attacks. I played 2 Gyro Attacks and then 16 of basically all of Akuma's attacks is a 4 of. Alright, so for my foundations I play 4 Hell's Reach, just a solid aggressive foundation. So you commit this to pass a check, then you flip and then you ready it. It basically counts as 2 foundations. So yeah, really strong card. And then I also play 4 Azure Nightmare. Pretty much the same thing. You commit this to pass a check, you pitch a card from hand to ready it. So like this card also kind of counts as 2 foundations. So I'm playing 8 of these cards that kind of count as 2 foundations. So what's cool about these cards is that like your first turn can be like admin fees, Azure Nightmare, and Hell's Reach, and you can kill them with this because you technically have 5 foundations even though it looks like it's 3 foundations. So that's pretty cool. That's why I play these cards. They're just really strong. 4 copies of New Empress of Netherrealm. I was not playing this at first, but then I was talking with a Scottish player, and they were like, yeah, you should just play New Empress because it draws you cards, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of nice. I've sacked into attacks with this card. It's also nice to burn for 3 because your Dohatsu Shoten has Desperation 3, so you can like burn 3, draw a card, burn 3, draw a card. Now I'm in desperation to play this and just kill you. So yeah, New Empress of Netherrealm was a good addition. I like it. 4 copies of Outworld's Heiress. This is really good. So this card solves opponents' foundations. If they have a foundation on board that you don't like, you can just remove this, pay life, which is nice because it helps you hit to desperation, and then you just bounce one of their foundations back to their hand. So yeah, this just, it gets rid of problem cards. Another thing with this card, if they have like an Aegis and Wise or Pursuing a Vendetta out, you can actually like use Outworld's Heiress to bounce something else. Then when they activate their Aegis and Wise, you can just use Toguro Brothers to cancel Aegis and Wise and blow it up. So you're blowing up one of their face down Aegis and Wise now, then your Outworld's Heiress resolves, bounces back the one you originally targeted, so you're just debuilding them. So yeah, this is really nice. So yeah, Outworld's Heiress is really good. So it's also anti-stuns, like if they missile launcher you or something, you just burn for 2 and like not have to deal with the stun. So that's nice. 3 copies of Face of a Monster. So I used to play this as a 4 of, and then it went down to 2, and I think 3 is the right number. The free speed hate is just amazing. So when they play an attack, you burn for 1 and lower their speed by 2, so it's easier to block stuff. The Desperation Enhance is really good. You find yourself in desperation quite often, and you can change the zone of any attack. So like you change their attack zones to mid because like you have like this is an amazing mid block, and then your Dialect Devil Slayer is also an amazing mid block. So like Akuma just has +0 blocks. It's just really good. So you change the zone and block, it just helps you live. You can also change the zone of your attacks as well. Like if you know you're going up against a Flame Aura deck, you can just change your stuff to lows so they can't block a Flame Aura, so that's nice. The Deadlock ability normally never happens, but this is one of the best Deadlock abilities in the game. So if they build into Deadlock 11 or more foundations and you have 2 of these out, you just make them pitch 2 cards for free. So yeah, Face of Monster is really good. 2 War for Armageddon. This is really important. This flips opponents' foundations that have responses on them. Now, like so many foundations have responses on them, so this solves a lot of problems. One of the best things I found with this card is that if they have like an Ageless and Wise out, I can flip their Aegis and Wise, and then when they activate an ability on a foundation, I can just Toguro Brothers and blow it up. So like normally Aegis and Wise can cancel this because this blows up a card, but I can solve Aegis and Wise before they actually get to use it on this. So that's one of the coolest things I found with this card. It's just really good. 2 copies of World Without Battle. I love this card. So you flip this, and then this attack with a keyword ability gets +2 speed or -3 speed. All of Akuma's attacks have keyword abilities, and like Gyro Attack even has multiple one as well. So you can do this on any one of your attacks to get +2 speed, or on your opponent's attack, if they have a keyword ability, you give it -3 speed and you just block, which is nice. And then the Desperation E is awesome. You flip it, and you also have a face down card in your card pool, you just draw a card. So it's like new Empress, but you don't have to burn life. So yeah, this is really good, I love it. Now we have some spicy one-ups. So 1 Confronting Jetta. This card is awesome. So once per turn, you can give your attack free damage equal to the difference in the speed and its printed speed. So basically what happens, like 2 ways you can use this card. You have Gyro Attack and you have like the multiple. And then the multiple is usually like 6 speed for 10 damage. Then the multiple is face down, so the printed speed is 0. So what you can do is give it 6 free damage. So it's like 6 mid for 16, and they usually can't block this because like the speed's too high and you've already stunned them twice. So yeah, that's like one way to use Confronting Jetta on the Gyro Attack multiple. But perhaps the one that happens the most is Enlightened by defeat. You usually commit this for like +7 speed, +7 damage, and if you had an admission fees out, it's +2 more speed, so it's like 9 speed, so you can give your attack 9 free damage and then they just die. So yeah, Confronting Jetta is really cool in the deck. I dig it. 1 Last of Us Kind. Card just helps you live. You burn for 2, reduce their attacks damage by 4, so it's like when this card is out, you're like taking 2 less damage, technically. Also, the Desperation E is nice, just free 2 damage, just helps you win. And then the Deadlock ability, if they're ever in Deadlock, you can just give it 2 damage for free. So yeah, good card. 1 True Identity. So this card, you usually attack 3 or 4 times to kill him. Like you can kill him with 2 attacks if you draw nice, but usually you gotta throw 3 or 4 attacks to kill him, and this card just helps you win. So normally what'll happen is that like you play an attack, and then you fill your card pool, and then they won't block, so you're forced to play like another attack on a 6. This card just helps you pass checks. Like you can check a 5, boom, free check. Or like even if you check a 3, this helps you too. So yeah, this just helps you play attacks that help you win. So it's a good card. Now we have the last foundation in the deck, which I love. I love this foundation. Undying Rage. So this card, if the top card of your discard pile has Desperation or Fury, you commit this and then you add it to your hand. So all of Akuma's attacks have Fury. The Dialect Devil Slayer, the Dohatsu, the Secchia, and the Hand Slam. These all have Fury on them. So like if you ever, like so many times it's happened where it's like, I make a check for an attack and I check this, and I'm like, oh, okay, well I'm just gonna Undying Rage, add this to my hand, now I can kill you. So like, that's pretty funny. And then sometimes you are attacking them early, so you'll have, you'll play like a Secchia, right? And then you fill your card pool up, and then they just don't block it, they just take 7. Like, okay, that's fine. So this goes to your momentum. So now, what'll happen is that, like on your next turn, what you can do is toss like a Dohatsu, which has powerful 2, or you toss Devil Slayer, which has EX3 or Powerful 3, so you dump the momentum in your discard pile, and then, hey, it's a top card, Undying Rage, pick it up. Now it can kill you, because this card says face downs don't count towards progressive to play it. So, like, yeah, like, this card is so good. Like, this is, like, commit for +1 hand size, and it's an attack. So I love this card. This card's amazing. All right, that's all the foundations. So now I'm going to show you the other 3 actions in the deck. So as we talked about earlier, I play 2 Toguro Brothers and a Revoke. So the other actions, I play 1 Fade. Most Akuma decks I see play like 3 of this card or 4 of this card, and I get it, it's good. Basically, when they play an attack, you fade, bounce it back to their hand, and then when they play it again, you use Akuma, hack their check by 2, and they have to commit cards. Like, I get it, this card like stunts their turn a little bit. The reason I play 1 is because I play 2 stops off symbol. Has order with Akuma, so I can play it. But this card here just stops their turn. So like, you can fade their attack back and like play with their checks and stuff, and they're just gonna pass it and probably still attack you. Or you can just block with stop and then commit their character, and then the opponent doesn't want to attack anymore. So in my experience, stop ends their turn way more times than fade ends their turn. Now, fade's still a good card. I actually sideboard 2 of this card, so I understand the importance of fade. I just think stop just ends their turns. Like, why would I not play stop? I just use admin fees, -2 speed, block with stop, commit your character, and now you're done. So yeah, those are the other 3 actions I play in the deck. So now let's get into the sideboard. So as I said, 2 fade. This is really good when you're playing against an aggro deck and you win game 1. You just side these in because they're coming at you turn 2. So you side these in, you mulligan for them, they attack you turn 2, and they're being very risky. You just fade, bounce it back, and then hack their check by 2. So yeah, this card is good, but like not every deck's an aggro deck. And I just think stop just ends their turn more, but yeah, this card is good. I do see the importance of this. 1 Flame Aura, just more defense against high attack decks. When you attempt to block this, you reduce their speed down to 0, so that's nice. You just like free block something. So yeah, 1 Flame Aura. 2 copies of Demanding Submission. With all these gauge decks going around, I felt this card is just really strong. When they try to like gauge 5, okay, I'll burn you for 5 instead. Cancel it, you know? Or like if it stops other stuff too, like Coffee Samba, they want to stun you for 6. Like, okay, you want to burn for 6? Like, I'll just cancel it and burn you for 6. Or like a multiple 2, you can cancel that, burn them for 2. But also this card stops reversals. So even though reversals don't have ratings and you can't burn them, you can just stop a reversal with this. So yeah, Demanding Submissions is really good. 2 Space Land. With all these rando support decks going around with like Reduction and then Hiding in Plain Sight, just free momentum, the Hiei stuff, I just felt like 2 copies of this is necessary. You can kill their momentum when they get it during their combat phase, and then they just can't do their power plays, which is nice. You can also get free damage, which sometimes helps, so yeah, Space Land's good. Then 1 copy of Ninja Outcast. This is just extra insurance against Zhanghua. So like, normally against Zhanghua, like I have to abort attacks, but sometimes it's like I'd rather not. Like if I play a Secchia, kind of want this in my pool. So like I normally won't abort, I'll usually just keep this. So like this is just good to have to just bounce stuff. It also cancels weapon stuff too, so yeah. 1 Ninja Outcast. Alright, so we're gonna give the deck a quick shuffle and then solitaire it out. Veterans already know what Akuma does, but for the newer players out there, we're gonna kind of give you a glimpse into what Akuma's capable of. Alright, so deck is shuffled. We'll go ahead and roll some dice because it's fun. This is the opponent's roll. They rolled a Snake Eyes. Alright, we're probably going to beat that. Alright, cool. We go first. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good hand. We have admin fees and enlightened by defeat. So, alright. So, play this. Passes. Now, we played 2 checks in this deck. So, like, playing this is really risky. So, I think what I'm going to do is play this next. Alright, so now we can play this or this. I think we play... I'm going to play this on a 3. Alright, sweet. So I can play this and kind of pass. Yeah, I'll play this on a 3. Alright, cool. Go ahead. So their turn, our turn. Maybe we review this. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we just build again. Oh my gosh, we're going to have 2 of this out. Sounds good. So what are our block zones? We want to keep probably that. So bing, bong, and a pip. Bang, sounds good. Alright. So now we have this bill, this bill, this bill. All right, so like they're probably gonna attack us. So a couple things we can do. Let's just say they play an Building a Foundation. We can like negate it and blow it up. So on 1, passes. Then we'll choose the draw card. Ooh, sounds good. All right, so then we can just like admin fees to put a card in our card pool for -2 speed. Even if we don't block this, like we can block this. But yeah, it depends on how big it is, how threatening it is. Let's just say it's like not too threatening. It's gonna hit us for like 6 or something. We'll probably just take the 6 and go to 20. Then if they attack us again, we can just Toguro Brothers. But chances are they're not gonna attack us because they see we have Tagore Brothers out there. So yeah, these go here. So our turn begins. We can review this and burn them for 1. So they burn for 1, taking 1 damage. We draw some cards. All right, so we can try to kill them with this stuff right here. So we can play this on the 5. Check a 5, passes. So I wonder if the next one's an attack. I'm gonna burn for 3 to draw a card. Nope, it's not an attack. All right, so we admin fees for 2 speed. Akuma for 2 damage and stun 1. So this is 7 for 7. We'll probably have to use this to bounce a card back to their hand. So yeah, that's going to be 7 for 7. They probably won't block that. If they do, we just abort with, let's just say they block. We just abort with Akuma. All right, sounds good. You don't take anything. Then you play this. This is going to be on a 5. Check a 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we use admin fees, 2 speed. Then Akuma, 5 damage. Boom. So now we can use his Hell's Reach. Ready, busted. Absolutely busted. All right, so that's 7 high for 10. Like, if they do block it, we just hack it. But, I mean, even, how about this? Are they going to take 10? Probably not. Price block. All right, let's just negate it. Okay, so all that's been negated. We have all these cards in our card pool. So now we're going to play Congo. That's going to be on a 5. Check a 5. So now we admin fees for 2 speed. Then we Akuma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So 2, then 8. So now we can +8, then +8, because this card's just broken. So we have, okay, hold on. 5, 5, and what is this? +8, so that's +16. All right, hold on. Boom, and then it's +16. Jesus, okay. All right, so now we can use the Congo Enhance, where you can remove face downs in the pool to pay for the powerful. So let's just see how big we can make this. This is my momentum. That's not momentum. Okay, so we just do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's powerful for 16. So +16 more damage. So all right, I'm gonna run. Okay, fuck it. This is a 16. Okay. So how much speed is this? This is 25 speed for, what is this? 20. 30, 42, 44 damage, is that? I think so. Yeah, that's 10. I think it's 44 damage. 20, 30, 36, 42, 44 damage, yeah. So 25 speed for death, that kills anybody. And look, we have a Revoke just in case I have a defensive enhance after we do all that. So yeah, we just killed him with 3 attacks and we did all this damage. This is like a butt ton of damage. So yeah, that's just kind of what Akuma can do. All right, everybody, thank you for watching my Akuma deck profile. This is going to be in the competitive playlist. So yeah, this is one of my best decks. It has good matchups versus anything. So yeah, just kind of want to show it. Like I said, I was going to play it for the Pro Tour, but a buddy of mine wanted to play Akuma, and I was like, all right, you can play Akuma. So yeah, this is just a good deck. Try it out if you like. And remember, this video is sponsored by LegendaryWolfGames.com. Get all of your UFS cards and other TCG singles at LegendaryWolfGames.com. .com.